Hey guys, Goalie59, I'm back, and today I'm going to be addressing something that literally every hockey player needs to know how to do. And I'm going to be showing you today how to tape a hockey goalie stick. This stick I just untaped. It's not new or anything. I've had this for like a year and a half. I'm currently not using this anymore because obvious reasons. You see that from poke checking. Currently using my Bauer 2X Pro stick, but that if you look at my Bauer 2X that unboxing video, then you'll see that. But so today I'm going to be taping this up for you guys because this really needs some bad retaping because I haven't retaped it literally since I got it, which is kind of sad, but you know it's reality. So today I'll be showing you guys how to tape everything from the shoulders to the grip, the top of the shaft, the blade. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do all that stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it. So off camera, so you guys wouldn't have to watch me do like 10 minutes of this, I just put this line of tape on the bottom, which helps the bottom of the stick from wearing on the ice and wearing down. And I also taped up the toe because, like I showed you guys before, that's the part that's kind of getting destroyed. So now on to the actual taping bit. So like I said, so whichever way you want to start taping, it doesn't really matter. I like starting at the toe, so then I tape toe to heels and the pucks can slide heel to toe easier. It's really personal preference. So to start out, you want to get a length of tape. And I personally like to start it by putting this length over the top, and then just putting that down like that. And then what I like to do to make sure that doesn't come undone, I like to tape over that bit once, and then I start taping. So when you're taping, you want to make sure you do it carefully, and you want to make sure your overlap is even. As you can see here, I'm gently pulling the tape along. As you get better at it, you'll learn to do this faster. So however much overlap you want, that really depends. I like not that much overlap to A, save tape, and B, because it's like the feel of it. So as I'm doing this, you want to make sure that the tape's flat and that it's not getting any creases in it or folds. Because if it does, then you won't be able to really handle the puck that well, which is key to goalie. So I'm going to keep going here. And I personally prefer to look at the forehand because the forehand is what you'll be using the most and what you'll actually be seeing because you don't really play off your backhand that much. And so as you can see, I'm like about halfway done. It's looking pretty good. So you want to make sure your taping looks something like this. And once you get better at taping, you'll learn to do it faster. But right now, when you're starting out, you want to make sure you go slow and take your time to make sure you get the job done right. Because at this point, that's what matters. And if you don't get it done right, there's no point in doing it in the first place. So you just want to finish this up. It also doesn't really matter what filter you use. I just like using white because it shows the puck marks. And I also like to tape the entire blade and even up to the paddle a little bit because I feel like feeling like there's tape down the entire stick, and also so the stick doesn't get more attacked, like the actual blade doesn't get destroyed by the pucks. So I'm almost done. Only like maybe 5 more passes. And also, however far up you put this, or if you put the line of tape at the bottom, if you choose to do that, that's how far up. You probably want to tape up that far, or maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And that's because you don't want there to be tape showing, because then that'll start wearing down. And once you get to this point where you're here at where the blade starts curving into the paddle, the overlap at the top and bottom won't be even. So you want to make sure that you keep it as even as you can. But there will be it will not be as good as looking as you'd like it to be. So you can see mine. It's like think of one of those conveyor belt turns. It'll kind of look like that. And then here I'm about to be done. It's going to be my last pass. And then here, you want to cut off the end carefully. Like, you want to use strong scissors to make sure that the tape doesn't tear. And you also want to make sure the stick doesn't do that really, but that's just slipped. So you want to get good, nice, sharp scissors to do that. Roll that back up in the tape. Pull this around. If there's any things in the tape in the back that you want to fix them. You can see I have a couple issues here. And that can be easily fixed by pulling that out. Flattening it out. And once you're done taping, you want to either take the tape roll that you used or a puck or something else flat like that. And you run it down the tape to make sure it's flat. Make sure you do that on both sides. Make sure you take out any excess bits of tape that might be left. And then, there's your blade. Nice and new looking. Unless you wanted to, you don't have to do this part. I just did that because it's falling apart and it don't have to fall apart any more than it already is. You can already see that it's kind of deformed. So next we are going to move on to the main grip of the stick. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you're taping here is decide if you want to tape over the shoulders or not, or even tape here at all. A lot of guys don't tape here; they just use the grip built into the stick. But I personally don't like the feel of that grip. I like tape a lot. So, and I also like to tape over the shoulders. There's also another thing that some guys like to do, including me. Well, I sometimes do it, sometimes don't. And that is to add a little bit of extra grip here. And you can do that by taking a bit of tape, crumpling it up like this. You can see. And then you want it, and you'll do it along here like that. And then you'll tape over that to give it a little bit of extra, to give your fingers a little bit of extra grip, so your stick isn't as easily knocked out of your hand. And also, so it's just a little bit better feeling when you're doing poke checks. You're stronger in your movements. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. It doesn't really matter how tightly you wrap it around. It just matters that was just personal preference. A lot of things are personal preference, like most goaltending. So this is about a good length. So you'll just take your scissors, cut off the end here. Finish rolling it up. And you also want to have your roll tape ready for when you tape over that. So you don't need to put this on now. You could tape the shoulders first and then do that because you want to tape. Because some guys like to tape up, some like to tape down. I personally like to tape down, so I put this on first. So you want to start at the bottom like that. And make sure it's tightly rolled up like this. Make sure it's not all flat, as you can see. So start at the bottom at any point, doesn't really matter. And start weaving it up. I like to do it about this far apart. That's about good. So now I'm ready to start taping over this. So to hold it in place, you want to start piece of tape right over there. And do that around. And then from here, it's very, very similar to taping a blade. You just go around and passes, making sure your tape job is as neat as you can. But that's sometimes it crinkles up a little bit because of the lining of tape underneath. But that is okay, because for this stuff, because you're not handling the puck, you're just like holding it. It doesn't really matter if it is actually wrinkled as much, but you still want to make sure it's as flat as possible. So Takes a lot less tape for this, obviously, because just this. And then the hard part comes when you get onto these shoulders. Because these shoulders are angled, they are pretty difficult to tape. So once you're ready to go onto the shoulders, you want to work from bottom to top to make it a lot easier for yourself. So you pretty much just start it as you would any other bit. Just like that. And once you get to the shoulders, you want to start doing your wraps in a much tighter fashion to make sure that you don't get, make sure your tape doesn't get all folded up. And once you get to the corners, what you want to do is you want to kind of fold your tape's corners up like that, so you can cut them off later because it's an angle, so you have to do that. And then just cut it off like that, simple as that. Now you can just cut off those corner bits that you left. Maybe leave some cover-up bits if you left them accidentally. So, just the little wings that come off. It's a pretty good way to tape. The other way is to do a bunch of diagonal stripes down the sides, which work. I did that in my Bauer 2X Pro stick. I like that better in this method actually, but most guys like this method better. But it's just all personal preference. It's pretty much goaltending personal preference. So just make sure those are trimmed pretty well. And you might not be able to get them fully because if you have thick scissors, but if you have thin scissors, you should be able to get them. So I can't get them completely right now. But that's fine. I mean, you don't really feel those areas as much as you would any other area. So there it is. There's that bit. And then now we are going to be starting the top of the shaft. This is probably one of the most important parts to tape. Like, this is the part that you can't miss out on, because when you play the puck or you're going for a long poke check, and you bring your hand up, you need someone to stop that. So you need your knob here, which I taped off camera because that takes a long time. Guessing you guys don't want to see that. So you want to tape a very big knob at the top. There's some ones you can just buy and stick on there. I like taping my own because it's customizable size. So you just do that. I did it in a different color tape because I was running out of this color. So, and then if you end up doing that, all you got to do is simply cover it up. Simply cover up the other color with the color you're working with. And then also you have to tape around it, obviously. So you want to do a couple more so the color doesn't show, but that's fine. You want to make sure you have a neat knob, because if you don't, then it'll fall apart and then also look ugly. And goaltending's all about looks, obviously. So if you don't look good, then obviously you don't play good. So just do something quick like that, not too difficult. And then unless you have a smaller knob, you don't want to come down from the knob when you're taping to the bottom. You want to start a new one, a new strand right at the bottom of it, so that there's none of that angled stuff from, as you saw on the blade and the shoulders. You just simply do this, and it'll turn out good. Just make sure you don't wrinkle up your tape like I just did there. getting the best quality tape. I personally like using Howie's hockey tape, widely considered to be the best tape, but I'm currently out of that. So I'm just using this for now. This sports tape. Howie's hockey tape is just great tape. If you don't use it, you should check it out. By the way, I'm not being sponsored, so I wish. So this is simple, very simple. And also, when you retake your stick, you want to make sure you always take off the old layer, because otherwise it'll just keep building up. Like I remember last season when my players had about 7 layers of tape on his stick, and the blade was so wide. Like on a stick plate, it was so wide. Like we literally used a knife to cut it off. There's so much of it. So now we have a completely taped hockey goalie stick. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you actually got some use out of this. Because this is a topic that's widely researched and a lot of people need to know how to do this, especially beginners. Yeah, I remember when I was starting, I definitely need to know how to tape my stick, and a lot of tutorials are very vague and not very useful. They just like showed some pro like speed wrapping around the thing in like 5 seconds. We don't want to watch that. There's also not many specifically for goalies. So I decided to do that because I'm a hockey channel and I'm a goalie, so why not? And I also have goalie sticks because I'm a goalie. So make sure you guys like and subscribe and watch the rest of my videos for more hockey content. And Goalie 59 out.